modernization of the movement, how we're able to work with the high mantles in the game now, like all of this stuff that we're watching in high res, you can now go over a lot of this with mantles, and you can go over, like you can use your slide canceling, you could do all of that.
Well, I was going to ask about that. Did that create a layer of, you know, maybe some complexity with the slide canceling and stuff like that, like trying to ensure that the maps don't get just completely like turned upside down on its head?
It does, and one of the things about these maps is these maps were made 14 years ago, like, and to have that, like, we had to make them ready to go for 2023, right? We've added that modernization to them, to what gamers expect, to what our Call of Duty
game design changed a lot in those years.
Yeah, it is, and you have to bring everything up to the standard of today. And when we've gone through and we've maintained a lot of that within these maps, and there's a few places where we've had to make exceptions for that, but for the most part, like, you can go in, those lines of sights that were there are still there, and you're going to have fun. You're going to be able to do those opening moves, those opening snipe shots, especially in high rise, just on the bat.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And keeping that conversation going, what are the maps like? Because I know that there's going to be more down the line.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Let's talk about the launch maps,
So in addition to these 5 that we're playing today, day 1 on launch, we're going to get the rest of the 16 OGs from 2009. So we're talking Karachi, Invasion, Afghan, Glory, Skid Row, you know, Sub-Base, Rundown. Yeah, like it's all there, and on and on.
Oh, we got the scrap.
Yeah, so we're super excited to be bringing those. And in addition to those OGs, we have some new ground war maps that we're launching too. So we have 3 ground war maps that are brand new, which is the traditional like 32v32 vehicle gameplay. So that's going to be an awesome alternative for people if they want to take a break from 6v6 or just mash it up.
Like, want to go bigger, but you don't necessarily want to dive fully into Warzone. You have ground war. That is so, for people like me who like, big, crazy, like huge battles, like this is so exciode
Ground War is a great mode for that. And aside from Ground War, I'm excited to say that there is another mode coming back that many of us know and love originally from Call of Duty World War II. And that is War Mode.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, we are super. I mean, War Mode holds a special place in my heart, too, from 2017. It's a brand new map that's launching on day 1 as well. It's got the attacker-defender gameplay that we remember from the mode, the linear objectives, the buildables, the scripted events. It's really exciting to see that be part of our day 1 launch slate as well.
Awesome. So we've got Ground War, we've got Core 6v6, we've got War Mode, and a little something we're going to get to later in the show, a brand new mode coming to multiplayer that will be available at launch.
That's right.
And also playable in the beta.
That's right. Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's really so cool to see a lot of these players get back to the roots, because you can even see it. Like, something I always enjoyed about a lot of these like big reveal events, right, is everyone loads in, they're discovering these maps for the first time, they're seeing them with fresh eyes. But here, that's not the case. We got a lot of familiarity here, and now the fresh eyes are going to be like, what did they add? What did they contribute to like make this into their own vision of a map? But I do appreciate, as a competitive guy, that you guys really focused on keeping the core of the maps.
We love these maps. Like we've adopted these maps internally at Sledgehammer. We treat them as our own. And we've gone through every nook and cranny, understanding them, understanding where all of the Easter eggs are, where all the line sights are. We have tons and tons of PowerPoints about it that just allow us to go through and really understand what makes these maps work. And then what we've done is we've taken that nostalgia and we've also added that modernization of spice on top of it, that when you're playing these, when you're coming back to them, it is familiar, but also new at the same time, where you're now able to mantle over things that you were never able to get to. You're able to get up on top of things. Right here, we're watching.
There we go. There it is.
I live here.
Right on. And to Greg's point too, when these maps first came out in 2009. Hardpoint did not exist. Kill Confirm did not exist. So those are brand new modes for these maps that were never experienced.
Well, I'm interested to see how those modes potentially elevate some of these maps that maybe were less played like competitively or even casually back in the day.
Whole new experience.
Whole new experience.
Whole new experience. You have some of those maps, those larger maps in Modern Warfare 209, like Derail and Underpass. And those play fantastic when you get into 10v10 or 12v12. We've had those modes are coming. They're going to come out after launch. And it's just fabulous to be able to play them on there. We also have control for those CDL players out there.
CDL folks, yes.
And that's going to be amazing to watch the competitive community go to town on these maps and really, play them and understand what's happening.
Well, we're watching some great kill confirmed action here. We've been flipping around a bit, and find me in that sniper lane. That's all I got to say on High Rise. I will be there. I will be waiting for you in the beta tomorrow.
This is so great.
ADS ready.
I know we've been talking a lot about the 20-year anniversary of Call of Duty, but what better way to celebrate that than with
these
dropping all of these
yeah.
16 day one.
We're looking at High Rise in 2023, and it's brand new. That's so cool. I'm just going to take a moment to appreciate that. It's not every day that you get to not just go back and relive things that you enjoyed so much growing up, but then also to there are some streamers here who are younger than Call of Duty's launch, right. 20 years ago. So they're going to get to experience this really with a fresh coat of paint for the first time ever. That has to feel quite liberating for you guys, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
I think really these maps hold up for old school veterans as well as people who are brand new to Call of Duty. If this is your first game playing Call of Duty, you're obviously
never been a better time to jump in. Yeah, I mean you're absorbing so much of COD's history. To your point, what a better way to celebrate 20 years of Call of Duty than with these iconic maps returning in an all new way. And we're going to talk about all those new ways as part of the the innovations that you guys have brought to gameplay in just a second. But we want to remind the audience out there that while you're watching gameplay today, you will get to play it starting tomorrow. Take a look here at the beta schedule for players who pre-order on PlayStation starting tomorrow, and next week for players who order on Xbox and PC. The maps, modes, weapons you're seeing here today, those are in beta, and so are 2 new ground war maps and in-game rewards for playing. So anyway, take a look, take notes here with the pros playing, tune into the stream, get some hot tips before you drop into your first match tomorrow.
That's right. It's going to be quite exciting to see, everyone across all the different platforms, just going live, playing COD, and then again, loading up and then seeing Scrapyard or High Rise. Still just blows my mind. I genuinely am so excited about this. But, there are a lot of maps that returning fans like myself definitely will enjoy. But, I love some new. Is there anything that we should be expecting, post-launch as far as maps go?
Oh, definitely. I am very, very excited to tell you both today that starting Season 1, we have a bunch of new maps coming. So Season 1, we're dropping 3. Season 2, dropping 3 more new ones. So over the course of our entire live season, there will be 12 new 6v6 maps coming to Modern Warfare 3.
Awesome. So launching with 16, 12 down the road. That is a big map pool to choose from.
And these are all different sizes of maps, different locales, for all different play styles. You might see 1 or 2 fan favorites come back as well over the course of live season, but we have a bunch of new maps coming that we're really excited about.
And those are 6v6
6v6
competitive maps that players can play. There are other maps in there as well that we'll talk about once we get into the live season, but 6v6 core maps.
Stay tuned.
Right off the bat.
Brand new.
And guess what? With all of those maps, it's back. You know what you can do with them? You can vote. We're going to see it in a lobby soon, but map voting is back, folks.
Yeah, that's huge.
Get excited. I mean, the community has been thrilled. I can't wait to see it in action here today. I'll be taking notes on which ones we know are the ringers of the group. I think we have a good feeling.
Somebody voted for Estate, it looks like. Here, we're looking at Estate.
Oh,
right
nice,
now.
yeah.
Somebody voted for that. Yeah, that's a good one for snipers.
I like Estate.
Yep.
I think we have an idea of where the maps are going to land in the voting. But when you account for the new modes, the modes that you were never playing in there before, when you get into hardpoint and you need that space to have that rotation, it'll be interesting to see what ones are popping up.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to jump into a private match lobby with my friends and run around and see where the hard points are on these on Derailed or something like that. Because Skid Row, I was actually talking with Nameless in the back about this. It's these maps now, you have maps like Skid Row that can actually be potentially viable competitively, which is quite exciting. It just changes the entire feel of the offering, which we didn't have back then.
We've honestly already been talking to CDL a little bit about some of their favorites, about what they might want to play, and it's great to get their feedback early on to see how the competitive...
All right, we're looking at Lupo, my guy Lupo. He is in his loadout editor. We can get a good look here. He's got the lightweight boots. And Kim, I would love if you would take us through what we're seeing here and how loadout select has changed and what players can expect.
Yeah, so what you're seeing here, so someone is looking at our boots category. This is actually one of our new categories for perks. So we've split up the perks into 3 different categories. We have boots, gloves, and gear. And you're going to see some fan favorites come back. We've remixed some of the perks, and we've brought some new ones into the fray. Now, they're all also represented with physical gear items. So everything that you see there has some contextualization for players. So it's not just a list of things you're selecting from. It's like you're getting these movement boosts because you're bringing in boots, or you're getting this weapon handling bump because you're bringing in gloves. So we really like to add that sort of context for players to understand what they're bringing in for perks.
Yeah, it's different, it's logical, but you're also going to see some of the same perks that we know and love. So Call of Duty fans will be familiar with them, but presented in an all-new way. What are you guys most excited about to see here with players getting into that loadout edit, kind of customizing these builds out for their playstyles?
I think for me, it's all of the movement aspects of it, right? So we have so many things that are on there on perks that are around. We have one that allows you to slide further.
The knee pads.
Yeah, the knee pad.
Greg, I've been using the
pads.
I've been using the tack pads.
And then we have the lightweight boots. We have the canvas sneakers. I also hear those are your favorite.
I'm sneaky. I'm trying to move. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
We need all the things.
So, and those are just going to cancel out your noise when you're moving around. They're going to eliminate footsteps.
The true silent movement
the
perk
true silent
is back.
Yep. Is there.
Can confirmed, have used it, heard nothing. So it is very silent.
Hopefully it was only footsteps.
Oh, yeah, no, I could. Well, also, you know, I mean, I can't hear it anymore either. Old age, anyway. No.
Keep making these old jokes. I don't know what's happening.
But hey, I guess when you're talking about Call of Duty having been around for so long, it's just amazing how we've all just grown up with this, right? And you guys are seeing these things that happened back then. You know, the way the game was made, and you're taking ways to like improve upon it while also again keeping it very familiar, but also keeping it very fresh. Something that really stuck out to me, Kim, is that you guys bringing back that classic radar, right? You got your mini map with red dots on there.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad that came back in.
Yeah, we are too. I mean, so any unsuppressed weapon fire will show up as a red dot on the mini-map, and we think it's really just a core intel piece for our player base for Modern Warfare 3. We really want to make sure that people know where the firefights are happening, really understand, and as we mentioned earlier about just knowing the maps and being very familiar and nostalgic with those things, like you can see the red dots on the mini-maps and you can understand, I know the map already potentially coming in. I know how I'm going to flank. I know where we're going to go. You can strategize more with your teammates. So, we really just felt that bringing back the classic was absolutely the way to go.
It's classic gameplay return to classic maps. I think, to your point, on these maps, it makes perfect sense, especially with the familiarity. And even for new players, you're going to figure these maps out quickly. But it's it feels right. It feels great. I've really loved seeing it. You have a direct way to engage.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to hear you guys talk about that. And that's not the only piece of classic gameplay that you'll see returning in Modern Warfare 3.
Oh. Tell me more.
Tell me more. We've talked about a little bit of movement, but I'd like to get into some of the nitty-gritty. Slide animation cancel, reload animation cancel. They're both back.
Yeah. So we felt really strongly about bringing back slide cancel and reload cancel. And in both of those things, really the core was we wanted players to feel responsive and feel like they had a lot of options. So we know that when you commit to doing a slide, you're stuck on a pretty linear trajectory. We know that when you're doing a reload, some of those weapons have really long reloads. It's a real big commitment. So even after doing that, we wanted to make sure that players had the choice to cancel out of that, because we know things change moment to moment so quickly in these battles. And it felt right, and we're just so happy that we have it back in. And we know that I think we feel that players are really going to be happy these things are back in.
Awesome. We're going to see it a lot here today. I'm sure we have our movement kings and queens getting around the map in new and interesting ways. Now, Greg, time to kill, or TTK. Always a hot topic with our players, with our community. It's complex. It has a lot of different moving pieces when we talk about it. Can you give us details on what to expect in terms of time to kill for Modern Warfare 3?
Yes, I can. I can give you the exact
Yes, you
details.
can.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
Only the exact details.
Only the
Yeah.
exact details. So rather than 100 health, we have 150 health across all of our players.
So that's
Right.
got parity with Warzone.
So that is parity with Warzone, what's currently live in Warzone.
Yep.
And it'll also carry over into Modern Warfare 3
Yep.
Season 1 as well. And what we've also done with that time to kill, so what you're going to notice is it's much more consistent across the board. So we've eliminated some of these spikes that we've had in the past because our modifiers, so we have modifiers on when you get a headshot, it does more damage. When
Yep.
you do a limb shot, it does less damage. So we've kind of normalized those and closed the gap between them. And what that allows for you as a player is you're able to really have this experience where it's consistent. So when you're putting bullets on target, it is now like you get that feeling, you get that rhythm back into your gameplay, and you're able to go from combat to combat and start to feel that pace of combat, especially with our hit markers now. Like the sound effect, if you haven't had a chance to listen to them, like they're fantastic. The audio team's done a great job with them.
Hit markers
We have-
also
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, hit marker visuals as well. So you're also notice that headshot hit marker. So that's when that extra damage is going to come into play, and it's normalized across the board. So it is a little longer. You can respond to getting shot. Like as soon as you start to see your screen light up red, you can pull away, you can get into cover, and really take that engagement in the way that you want to take that engagement.
Yeah, I think with those visual identifiers and with the audio cues, kind of taking that step forward a little bit, you certainly feels like you have a bit more time to evade, definitely.
Yes.
You have more survivability, you have more options with the freedom of movement
Yes, it certainly
to get
plays
out
into
of
that.
combat. And that includes a new thing that I would like to talk about called tack stance.
Yes, tack stance is a fantastic addition to our movement set, as well as what you're doing with tactical gameplay. It is a mix. It's right in between your aim down the sight, so you're very pinpoint accuracy, and your hip fire. So hip fire is going to be that big
Yep.
spread that you have. And so what it allows you to do is when you're in ADS, you can actually go in and toggle tack
We
stance.
just saw the UI pop up
Oh, sweet.
on
There
the
it
screen.
is. There's
So
tack stance
it's
right
gonna
there.
It's gonna appear as down on the D-pad
Yeah.
for those of
And
you
for any
watching
like
gameplay.
sweats out there, I think it's important to note this is kind of it takes like an assault rifle and turns it into almost like a little bit of a sub, where
Yeah.
you can kind of like push corners a little bit more aggressively
Canted.
with it.
It's great for a CQB.
Yeah. So it feels like you're getting the best of both worlds with it, while also still obviously you're not going to get the full benefits of using an SMG.
And so those LMGs, like being able to take those longer range, when we talked earlier about Derail or some of the larger maps, like you want to be able to run a longer gun. So being able to take that in and then going to canted, going to tack stance, inside, indoors, going in those warehouses is a fabulous mechanic to have.
We just saw it here. We're seeing some clips of it. Yep.
Yeah, and it is very good. Having used it myself, I can see the application for it, and I think we're going to see some awesome outplay opportunities. Like players are going to go nuts with that feature.
It's also nice just if you have a specific playstyle. Adam, you mentioned it's really great for close quarters combat, which is personally what I have used it for when I've been playtesting with you guys. But I think it's there if you want it, and if you're not into it, don't use it. You know, it's an option. It's again that optionality for players to choose how they engage with movement and all of these new fun toys that we're showing off in Modern Warfare 3.
And there are option settings for that tack stance. Right now, it's on the down D-pad. If you're not a controller masher like I am, I get in there, I panic a little bit. There's
All the
options
buttons
for you to allow you to put it on your stick, which, well, if you're not a keyboard and mouse player, and you can go in and it is much more like it is a skill at that point, being able to utilize that in those close quarters combat.
Right. Adam, I see you studying gameplay intently. We're on Rust here. What are we seeing?
I love me some Rust. And just talking about the options any player can use. Somebody was running a shotgun a second ago. Now we're seeing somebody with an AR. There's snipers up at the top of the tower. There's, on a map like this, that's
a lot of variety.
Yeah, that's really like fast gameplay. You can still see it. It's viable for all different play styles, which is really exciting.
Yeah, there really is nothing better than grabbing a shotty and just running around the map and.
I mean, he just had the Renetti out. He's going ham with it.
Going in.
You got all different options here. We're probably going to see a lot of that on Rust today.
Taking a hard point right now.
Well, this has been really fun to check out, and we have plenty more to watch, without a doubt, here. But we're going to take a quick break from the gameplay for a brief second. We actually wanted to mention an awesome partnership between Call of Duty and the Hundreds. Now, you're taking a look here. We should be seeing in a moment at a limited edition Call of Duty Hundreds clothing line, and you have a chance to win one of these 50 sets. So simple. All you got to do is follow @Call of Duty on X or Twitter, and make sure you tweet or post hashtag CODNEXT and hashtag sweepstakes for a chance to win one of 50 sets of the Ghost Bomb collection. So follow the channel, tweet the hashtags for a chance to win a set from this awesome lineup. And let's just go ahead and jump right back into the gameplay. And Greg, you know, we'll toss one over to you here. So for anyone who has been playing Modern Warfare 2, right, you know, we now know like their inventory, that's going to be making its way over to this game, which is really, really cool. And it creates that like value for that player. Like, hey, my time here was worthwhile.
Exactly, and it is all about honoring the player investment for us. Like we call this carry forward. We talked a little bit about it before. We had some blog posts about it. But with carry forward, all of your investment into Modern Warfare 2 is coming over into Modern Warfare 3. So any weapon that you unlocked is available for you day one in Modern Warfare 3. So you can go ahead and use that. Any operator that you've purchased or that you've unlocked as well. So if you got that spawn operator from Season 6.
The Season 6 Battle Pass is coming with us.
It's there. It's there at day one, and it's fantastic to have. Even all of those blueprints and everything coming in with your weapon level as well is available. All of your attachments, your camos are there.
If you completed your Mastery camos, you got your Orion. That's coming with us.
But don't worry, the grind is still there for the Modern Warfare 3 weapons because it has its own set of completionist camos as well that you can go in and grind your heart out for those and go ahead and get those, you know, in the game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the other new challenges coming to Modern Warfare 3 in a little bit, but exciting to hear that the camo grind is real. We'll be back on it before we know it. More to come soon.
Oh yeah, more to come. I love it. More to come soon. So ominous.
News at 6.
Well, speaking of weapons, though, I love the fact that we're going to get carried forward. I like the fact that, you know, there's plenty as we were seeing here. What other new weapons might we, you know, be treated to, I guess, moving forward here?
We have a bunch of new weapons coming in Modern Warfare 3. We have over 30 new weapons that you can experience, level, get new attachments for them. We have new global attachments as well that are available that you can use across all of your weapons.
Wow.
Yeah, even the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. And then we have 20+ operators that are there for you to unlock and be able to use and experience.
If you don't mind me asking, how it must have been a fun challenge to take those weapons from MW2 and then bring them over to MW3 and like really try.
Oh yeah, it's been a fun challenge.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's been great, and being able to have all of those weapons and being able to have your arsenal come with you is an amazing experience.
I felt like it was important to you guys to have that.
It is. It's very important for us to honor our players and be able to, you know, take all of that. But you spent a year in this game. We need to bring that into the next game and allow you to be able to experience it and have fun and not set you back all the way. We still have, you know, 1 to 55. You're going to be able to level that again. And we have new content in there for you to experience.
All the bells and whistles.
All the bells and whistles is there. But being able to have those weapons, being able to make it work with all of the attachments, we're actually doing tuning on those weapons as well, so they're not going to be exactly the same. They're going to
get the balance pass. For Modern
they're going to have
3.
the essence of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons, but they're not going to be one-to-one. You can actually go in, and our friends at Beanox have been able to put in detailed weapon stats for us, and you're going to be able to go in and look at all of those intricacies. Check out what their headshot multipliers are. Check out what their limb damage is. All of that stuff in there.
And that brings up attachment tuning. Attachment tuning is coming to Modern Warfare 3.
It is. It's part of Modern Warfare 2. It's part of that carry forward.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, excellent stuff. I think we're all just happy that, you know, what I had already used is gonna come with me.
Nicki Minaj is coming with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was what I needed to know about. You know, not Spawn. Although I do love me some Spawn.
The Barbs are thrilled. Kim, we are seeing some epic looking skins and weapons on our creators here today. In fact, right now, if you look at the screen, check that out. I believe these are from the Modern Warfare 3 Vault Edition. Can you give us some additional info?
Yeah, happy to. So what you're seeing right now are the weapon camos that are going to be in our Vault Edition. There's a blue and a red version. So there's the Crimson Fate is what we're calling one of them, and the Carbon Fate is the other. And these will be applicable on 4 different weapons if you get the Vault Edition, plus all of their attachments. And they're reactive, so the better you do in the match, the more eliminations you get in a match, the more you'll start to see that visual change on your weapon. And as you can see also, the operators have their own versions of this. These are the
cool.
Nemesis skins. So there is a blue version and a red version there. The blue version goes on Price and Ghost, and the red version goes on Warden and Makarov. Those are the 4 operators that get these skins. Same reactive tech, so you're going to see a little bit of the silver, metallic, shiny-looking skin come up on the hands and the torso, the better you do in the match.
I've seen a lot of Warden hype on the internet, so I think people are really excited to see her in action, and that skin in particular is awesome. But one thing about the reactive skins, to your point, these are performance-driven, so that effect actually will scale back if you stop getting kills, guys.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, got to do well.
Gotta keep
You want to see the fun stuff on screen.
Yeah.
We need you to perform. So those will be awesome. People will be popping off having these awesome effects go around the map as well. And of course, those are in the Vault Edition.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of the weapons and diving into it a little bit more, I understand as well that there is also a new system that you guys have on top of that with the aftermarket parts, right? Which if we could dive a little bit more into that, because that sounded really fascinating. They kind of like make guns play in a different way just off of one part alone.
Yeah, it is. And here we're seeing a little bit of it where this is our LMG that has a bullpup conversion to it. So they're full conversion kits that allow these weapons to really go cross-class and to change up. They are meaningful, powerful changes.
And that's a Renetti.
That's a Renetti that is actually turning into an SMG with this conversion kit. It's like a 3D printed part on there.
No secondary.
No secondary. So what you do not, like we have a gunner vest that allows you to take a primary as a secondary. You do not need to take that if you're swapping out your Renetti for that aftermarket part to make it into an SMG.
And one of the coolest things is how you unlock these amps. So we're going to see, we call them amps. We love acronyms here, guys. So we have 2 amps that are coming to beta, I believe. But how you're going to unlock them at launch and beyond, you want to talk a little bit about those challenges?
Yeah, so in beta, they unlock a little differently than they do at launch. So at launch, they're actually, we have a new system called weekly challenges. It is pretty much exactly as it sounds. There are challenges, a group of challenges that we release weekly.
I was worried it was like bi-weekly for a moment.
Yeah.
Trick question.
Yeah. Thankfully, it is every week. And then the reward for getting all of those challenges for that week is an aftermarket part. So the first 3 weeks that the game is out, we have an aftermarket part reward for those, completing those challenges. You can then take that aftermarket part into the game and use that.
I think, too, again, it just, the through line with Modern Warfare 3, this is player choice, is player freedom. It's on, this new way to customize the experience and let the player kind of choose the way to have their own play style reflected in those guns, using the amps. It's super exciting.
Yeah, it definitely is. As we're going to continue to take, just more of a look and enjoy, the game as players continue to run around and get into some more shenanigans, playing some domination here as well on a state. I've done that many times. So, this is, again, it still just baffles my mind that I'm looking at, these maps in 2023, and I'm just excited to play them. Yeah, and even the movement. I'm just excited to play them then as I am now, like that is such a wonderful feeling to have. And then also on top of that too, just to see the way that, players can interact with the ways you build your classes. I really do like what you guys did with the perk system and how you contextualized it and made it like a physical thing. Was that like a desire to kind of just make it a bit more grounded, or what was the I guess the design choice on that, rather than just going with pictures on a screen? You guys went for something quite bold.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really was a big part of the context for the players. It's not just a UI menu with choices, that were sort of ambiguous. It was a little bit, we wanted to make sure that you brought in your fighting load carrier, right? Your FLC was what we talked about, internally is this thing where every piece of gear that you brought in did something meaningful for your loadout selection.
Yeah.
So perks was a big part of that, and we got a chance to look at the gear items, all inspired by real-world military tech and items, and we were able to really figure out what goes with what and what are the remixes we want to make, and we think we came up with a really good and interesting field of choices in our perks this year.
So I don't know if you guys can see it. We're taking a look around the room at the moment. We actually have a 2-story streaming tower. I'm going to call it a tower.
Pretty epic in here.
It's absolutely wild in here, and everyone is very focused on their play. It all of a sudden Oh, hi. Oh, hey, that's us. Oh, hey. Hey, guys. GG's.
Hello.
So we've got this big, giant room filled with Modern Warfare 3, filled with awesome creators from all over the world. And as Ted Timmons would say, the vibes are good. We're going to hear Ted talk about vibes.
I do want to